Irrelevant where you are located or where you are a citizen of, you might be interested in setting up accounts outside of your home country, and Dominica could be one of the countries that you can take into consideration for that. Hi, my name is Sadifa. I've been with Nomad Capitalist for about 5 years now, and I am directly involved in the plan creation of our clients, making sure that they go where they are treated best. Today, I'm going to talk a bit more about offshore banking, and especially offshore banking in Dominica. Now, in simple terms, offshore banking means just simply having an account outside of your home country. So if you are a citizen of Canada and you have a bank account in the US, that is technically offshore banking, and vice versa. And even if you are a citizen of Uruguay or Colombia or any country and you have a bank account in the US, that is also offshore banking. Contrary to popular belief, offshore banking does not mean that you get any tax relief. So just because you have a bank account outside of your home country, obviously depending on what country you're located, but usually that's not grounds for tax relief. So it doesn't mean that that money is not taxable. You should still follow your home country rules and make sure that you comply with them. Because usually just because you keep the money outside of your country doesn't mean that it's not taxable again. But I mean, the advantages, of course, being more diversified, having access to more investments, to different currencies, and just overall better banks. Some banks are obviously better for just investment purposes. Some banks are better just for asset diversification, through investment, like I said. And also you have currency diversification. You have just transactional banking, corporate banking. So obviously, besides that, there are a lot of advantages to setting up a bank account offshore. That could be currency diversification. It could be asset diversification. You can just have access to a better jurisdiction, and in some cases, even a more secure jurisdiction depending on where you are located. So if you are seeking currency diversification, if you, for example, are wildly open to diversifying into euros, US dollars, British pounds, you can do that through setting up an account offshore that offers these currencies. But obviously, apart from that, there are certain jurisdictions that when you bank with their banks, it's easier to use. Transactions are generally easier, so you can make payments in a more free manner without, being asked a ton of questions for even a small transaction. So if you are obviously tired of your country's banking system and you want to look into possible different jurisdictions, there are a ton of countries that their banking systems are very good. Obviously, depending on what you are looking for, either that being just asset diversification, currency diversification, maybe even corporate banking as well. Although Dominica has gained very big popularity for their citizenship by investment program, which is a fast-tracked route to getting another passport, their banking system is very good as well. It's very transparent, very flexible, and very secure. So if you are looking for those attributes to a jurisdiction, Dominica could be the country that you are looking for. So the country's financial sector is overseen and regulated by the FSU, which just oversees, again, regulates every banking department. One of the key appeals or attributes of the banking system in Dominica is that it's very foreigner-friendly. Contrary to some countries that are not really used to working with a lot of foreigners, Dominica is actually used just because of what I mentioned in the past. I mean, they have gained great attention to with their citizenship by investment program, which brought people to be interested more in the banking sector as well. So if you're looking for a friendly bank, Dominica really offers that. And apart from that, banks in Dominica usually offer a wide range of financial services, again, including just transactional banking, private banking, asset management as well. Apart from that, they also offer brokerage services, which makes it a very attractive option for individuals, but also for businesses who want to set up corporate accounts that follow these attributes. Now, apart from those benefits, Banks in Dominica are also generally very crypto friendly. So if you are involved in crypto, if you have crypto exposure, this could be the right jurisdiction for you. Apart from that, a lot of people with offshore companies, such as companies in the Cayman Islands, the BVI, they are looking for a good bank to set up through their company. And usually banks in Dominica, in comparison to some other jurisdictions, actually accept foreign companies. So they accept to open these accounts for foreign companies as well. Apart from that, the country has also a very stable political system. So if you are worried about that, Dominica is the right option for you. Also, Dominica has been very famous with people that just want to maintain their flexibility to travel. If you spend a lot of time in different countries and you are really looking for a foreigner or traveler-friendly, like credit card or debit card, the banks in Dominica are used to, handling everything online. So it could be a good option if you want to have a card that you can use while traveling. Now, apart from the advantages, obviously there are certain disadvantages of banking in Dominica. More Western countries such as the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, they often view these smaller places as a bit more risky. So if you are constantly, for example, even personally or through a company, if you're constantly sending money to and from Dominica, or if you're constantly banking with that bank, you might be prone to more audits from the local tax authorities just because of that. If we compare it to other classical offshore jurisdictions, such as, for example, Singapore, Hong Kong, even the US, Dominica is relatively new to this whole sector. What that means is that usually transactions cost a bit more in comparison to these other more, let's say, prominent banks or banks that have been here for a longer period of time. So if you are seeking for this to be a bit more cost efficient for you, in that regards, Dominica might not be the best choice to bank in. I want to add a good note in the end because in comparison to some other jurisdictions where if you do not have, proof to show that you are tied to that country, you cannot really open bank accounts. In Dominica, even if your business is just newly incorporated or if you do not have personally any ties to Dominica, their banking their banking sector is very open to kind of making this situation work. So I don't think there will be an issue of setting up an account, even if you're not really tied to the country at all. If you found this information useful, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. If you have any programs or specific topics that you want us to discuss and to share with you, feel free to leave them in the comments down below so we can take them into account. Thank you for watching.